Now, research shows that multitasking can actually reduce your productivity, wait for it, by 40%. It can increase errors and even lower your IQ temporarily. You're not working smarter, you're just working harder with worse results. Welcome to the Growth Beyond Hustle podcast.
Today, we are talking about something that can completely transform your business. Welcome back to Growth Beyond Hustle. Today, we are talking about one of the biggest myths in productivity, multitasking, my man. So many people think that juggling multiple tasks makes them more efficient. Yep, dude. Let's talk reality now. It is killing their focus and productivity. Kristian, why do so many of us fall into the trap of multitasking?
Because, Adrian, we've been conditioned, dude, to believe that doing more means achieving more. And we think that if we answer emails while on a Zoom call, while checking social media, we're being super productive. But the truth is, multitasking, ladies and gentlemen, is a lie. And it makes you slower, less efficient, and way more prone to mistakes.
So, dude, let's break this down. What is actually happening in our brains when we multitask?
All right. Look, KV, I'm not a brain scientist, but I have done lots of work and research in this area. When you try to do multiple things at once, your brain actually, right, isn't multitasking. It's task switching. Every time you switch from one task to another, there's a cognitive load. Now, research shows that multitasking can actually reduce your productivity, wait for it, by 40%. It can increase errors and even lower your IQ temporarily. You're not working smarter, you're just working harder with worse results, Adrian.
Dude, 40%, that is freaking massive, man. So basically, when people think they are being efficient, they're actually making it harder for themselves.
Exactly. And worse, it creates mental fatigue, right? So have you ever felt exhausted after a day where you've jumped between emails, client calls, and social media? Right. And I bet you have. I know you have. And I know the listeners have too. That's because every switch drains energy. And when you focus on one thing at a time, you actually get more done with way less effort.
So some people might actually be multitasking without even realizing. So how can someone recognize if they're falling into this trap?
Man, that's a great question, right? Some signs that you're multitasking without knowing it. And if you're listening to our podcast, please, subscribe, change the notification settings. But more importantly, right, get a piece of paper and a pen when you jam with us, right? And if you're driving, don't get a piece of paper and a pen,
True.
right? Just go back to the episode, right? But there's four things that you should do, and this is what we teach clients. If you're constantly switching tabs or screens, right? If you can't focus on one task for more than a few minutes, you're task switching, right? If you feel mentally drained by midday, that's a sign of cognitive overload, right? If you make frequent mistakes, multitasking actually reduces accuracy because of your brain, right? And your brain goes into task splitting mode. And the last thing is if you are struggling to finish projects on time, because switching focus constantly slows your progress.
Dude, that makes total sense. So if someone is listening right now and thinking, that's me, how can they start shifting the way they are multitasking into real focus?
Well, here's the game plan that I use, right? I time block. Everybody knows that. Anyone that follows me on Instagram has seen my calendar. I put it up in my stories and people freak the fuck out like on a regular basis. Like, wow, that's right. You've got to diary block and time block. That means specific time slots for focus works, meetings, and breaks. So example, 9 to 11 a.m. is deep work and no distractions, right? The other thing that you could do that I used to use very effectively, but now my diary is so blocked that's what controls it, is the Pomodoro technique. Il Pomodoro, right? This is basically that you work in focus sprints, 25 to 50 minutes of deep work followed by a short break. And in that short break, you do nothing, right? Like your brain's going to be completely switched off. The third thing that I would do is turn off notifications, man. Emails, Slack messages, social media alerts, they hijack your focus. Turn the fucking things off while you're working, right? How many people do you see? I see staff in client businesses that have got their phones in their pocket. What the fuck are you doing with your phone in your pocket, man? You're at work. Put the phone in the locker and check it only in your breaks. That, if people started doing that discipline alone with their own people at work, their focus and energy would shift dramatically. The other thing that we do is we prioritize tasks. Start each day with a list of 1 to 3 high impact tasks and tackle them one at a time. One at a time, not 3 at a time, not 2 at a time, one at a time, right? Okay. And finally, you got to batch similar tasks, Adrian. Instead of jumping between emails, client calls, and marketing, group similar tasks together to minimize the context switching. Okay. That's the key. That's the key ingredients that I would say to anyone that's listening right now.
Dude, that is freaking solid advice. And, just through working with you over the years, I've personally seen a huge improvement in my focus and time blocking as well. And really, being able to block those similar tasks allows you to have that energy and flow, which you talk about a lot. So, are there any other habits that can help improve the single task focus?
Mate, you're panning for those golden nuggets for our audience, aren't you? So yes, there are 2 more things that people often overlook. Train your brain with mindfulness and meditation, right? Even 5 minutes a day of focused breathing can rewire your brain for better attention. So, this year I launched a program with the amazing guru, Bronwyn Coles, my guru of 7 years, because I realized that she was my secret weapon and I couldn't hide her anymore. So we launched the Aligned State, and the Aligned State is exactly that. And, it is meditation every single day. 5 recorded ones that are in alignment with the universe and the energy system, right? That's around us, and then 2 that are done live over Zoom, and then we do a teach session on a particular topic that helps business owners rewire their brains, right? So purpose, intuition, those sorts of things. Because what we found was that lots of people do not do this, and as I said, just 5 minutes of this a day will change your life. If someone had told me, 10 years ago that meditation would make me way more money, well, I would have just called out bullshit. Well, it's true. It's made me rich. And I think that it's because of the focus and the overload that it reduces. The second thing that people need to do is take care of their fucking bodies, man. Now, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite because I abandoned my body for the last 12 years, but I've been training like a mofo now, right? And I track my sleep. I get hydration, I get the proper nutrition, and that is all impacting my cognitive function. And, I'm taking things like Age Mate, not because of the M&N that's in it, but because of all the other ingredients in it. It gives me like 6 to 7 hours of 100% clarity during the mornings. But a well-rested brain can focus better. Now, keep in mind that sleep and hydration and proper nutrition are very individual things. Okay. So, what I need to eat and consume is different to you. But I can tell you now, I can't function with less than 6 hours sleep. Right. And 6 hours and 30 minutes is about my optimal sleep. And once a week, I try and get over 7 hours. Right. Yeah. And ideally, I try and get 7 hours every 4 days. That's kind of how I do it. And that resets me. Hydration, man, I smash, the moment I wake up, I smash 2 liters of water in the first 15 minutes of waking up. And that just sets my tone, and you can just feel your cells just fucking alive, mate. So, as I said, a well-rested brain will actually focus better.
Dude, I've got to say, I'm experiencing this like explosion of energy from you. And like, you are just on freaking fire, dude. That is brilliant advice. So let's get real, dude. Let's be honest. Sometimes there is the urge to multitask is so freaking strong, dude. It's just like, oh, how can people resist that temptation?
How do you resist? Get a fucking piece of gaffer tape, put it over your mouth and eyes.
Resistance.
Look, no, there are some ways, right? Have a not right now list. Okay. This might sound really trivial and silly, but that's what we teach, right? When something pops into your head while you're working, write it down instead of acting on it, right? Like sometimes at the end of the day, I could have like 8 or 10 sticky pads in front of me that have just notes. And all of a sudden, when I go back and look at them, I go, fuck that. Well, if I done that, that was just a distraction, would never have done it, right? And normally there's about 1 out of the 8 that's actually worth attacking. Some of the others are just deleted or they're delegated out to other people. Number 2, all of you addicts out there addicted to one of these things, put website blockers on. If social media is a distraction for you, use tools like Freedom or Cold Turkey to block those sites while you're working. Okay. Some people have fucking no discipline, and it is just a joke to see, right? If you don't need to be on social media for work, then stay the fuck off it while you're at work, right? If you can't control sending your boyfriend or girlfriend a text message every 30 minutes, or if they require you to check in every 30 minutes because there's no trust in your relationship, review your relationship, right? The third thing is work in a distraction-free environment. Find a space with minimal interruptions. This alone can make a huge difference. And the irony of this is most people are more distracted working from home than they are working in an office. That is the latest research, and it's why everyone is demanding people go back to the office. And if you think that's controversial, I don't give a shit. I've been saying it for years that working from home is not effective. Actually, I said it in 2019 because I started working from home after selling, 15, 16 companies. And man, did I find that hard, right? And if you didn't find it hard during COVID with all the distractions and then you still stayed at home, doing the washing is a distraction. Making yourself a cup of tea whenever you feel like it is a distraction. If you want to be a peak 1% of the top people in the world, these are the things you need to do, man.
Yeah, dude, I freaking love that, especially not right now.
Not right now.
Not right now. And also write that down. Write that down.
Write it down.
Write it down, man. Write it down. I remember a movie with Ryan Reynolds. I don't recall it, but he said, write that down. Right?
See, there's a distraction. You're watching Ryan Reynolds.
I am watching in my very few minutes that I have. Dude, at the end of the day, dude, it lets us acknowledge that distraction without it taking over, right? The not right now. It's like we write it down and we can move forward. Dude, this has been freaking fire. Lots of golden nuggets here. So let's start to wrap it up now. What are 3 key takeaways our listeners should remember about avoiding multitasking and sharpening their sword? No, their focus.
Their focus. I said that earlier, didn't I? Sharpen your focus, which is your sword. Multitasking is a productivity killer, man. You're not doing more, you're just doing worse. Remember that. Wrote that down, quote it, whatever you want to do. Right? Steal it. Right? Single tasking is our superpower. Use time blocking, the Pomodoro technique, and a distraction-free work environment.
Can I just hold you up there? That Pomodoro, it reminds me of prosciutto or a salami.
Well, because it's Italian, dude. All great things come from Italy.
True.
Including me, even though I'm Australian. Right? Your brain needs training. That's the final part, right? Small changes like mindfulness, better sleep, and blocking distractions compound over time for huge results.
Dude, this has been an eye-opening episode. If multitasking has been holding you back, start implementing these strategies today. And if you found this episode valuable, subscribe to Growth Beyond Hustle for more actionable insights.
And one last thing, if you need help eliminating distractions and claiming your time, our virtual assistants at Growth Outsourced can take non-essential tasks off your plate so you can focus on what truly matters.
Boom. Exactly, Kristian. That's it for today, and we'll see you in the next episode.
That's a wrap on this episode of Growth Beyond Hustle. We hope you got some real value out of today's conversation on protecting your time and energy. And remember, saying no isn't about shutting doors, it's about making space for the right opportunities. The more you set boundaries, the more you find yourself focused, productive, and in control of your business. If you enjoyed this episode, do us a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you never miss another episode. If you're ready to free up your time, stop wearing all the hats, check out Growth Outsourced, our trained virtual assistants, and take those repetitive tasks off your plate so you can focus on what truly matters.